So I learned something when people were asking me to review products and people were asking me to review companies or stocks. I think it is very important for people, especially when you're looking for a job or company to partner with, or people to work with. You have to take a look at the industry first. Why is this important? Because no matter what you do, if the industry is not performing really well, you're probably not going to be successful. And I think there was the startup, right? A startup founder that he took a look at all of the startups, and the most success factor was actually based on timing. It wasn't the management style, it wasn't the culture, it wasn't the people, it wasn't the novelty of the idea. But there were other factors, right? There were four other factors or five. But it came out ahead that timing was the most important thing. So how can you use this information to your advantage? Before you get into any endeavor, you have to take a look if it is worth it, right? So let me translate this for you for an opportunity when it comes to employment. If you're looking for a company to employ, to work with, work for, you have to take a look at how the industry is doing, right? How their main country is doing sometimes, the country they're operating in as a market, and as well as the company itself. If it's listed, you have to take a look at their financials, right, and their stock, right? And then you take a look at the individual feedbacks before you decide if you're going to go even to the interview or talk to these people or even apply. That's the first one, okay? Now, if you're going to take a look at stocks, you have to take a look at the industry, the news, more fundamental analysis. That's me. I'm more fundamental, right? Then you take a look at the sector, their competition, and see how they are with their competition, and see the company, their financials, and so on. Going back on employees, you have to make sure, because defining what is good is very important before you decide on this. Like, some companies are good when you are working for them, but some companies are good when you're an investor, right? Sometimes they would actually say that in their financial earnings or what they prioritize if they're going to prioritize people. You can go down a little bit deeper into employment, because when you listen to these financial calls, they will actually tell you which departments or which segments will be prioritized or which ones are growing. If you have the liberty to move across industries within a company, it's something very useful. Actually, I do that. If you take a look at my history, I take a look at market events to prioritize which industry I should be part of, right? Of course, this should be customized to what skills and talents you bring to the table. So going back, so when you're selecting the stock, you have to know how much they're offering, or what we call a float, because there's a managed and unmanaged float, or how much is available for the public market, and then how many are fundamental people and how many people are like just traders, right? I wouldn't say just traders, but people who actively trade or sentiment sensitive, right? And that will tell you how well it is. So if you take a look at that in the current situation, in the U.S. market is in a recession, right? No matter what they want to call it, right? So the recession is coming. So their industries are going down, right? And then their sector, if that sector is going down or up, that would be dependent. So if it's banking and finance, it's going down. Real estate's going down. So you see down, right? And then you take a look at the company. How is the company doing? Is it doing and we know that the market is sinking, but is it doing relatively better than the other companies, right? What are they doing different, and so on? What's the management doing? What they're trying to do? And then the people that are still there in the stocks, have they left? And the traders are people actively trading, or have they left already? So if you see this is all down, the opportunity and the play is different. So if you are going to be an investor, you should buy the stock when it's lower, right? So it's a good time to start. That's why they say people become rich when there's a recession, because they know when the rock bottom is, or they time the market to some degree. You can't absolutely time it, right, before they jump in, or they look for things that are undervalued, where people are just scared in general. That's why the price is very low, for example. And you can use this information when you're making a decision as well, when you're looking for products, if you're looking for whatever, right? You have to take a look at the big picture as an employee as well. Okay? So going back, if you're looking for products, insurance companies, when they ask me to review, like, is it good? It means that it is to a particular persona. For example, review this insurance company, right? If I review a company, do I review the product? And is the review of the product is if it is good for the consumer or if it is good for the financial advisor? Because some products are really favorable to financial advisor, so much so that it does not, it's just like a money loss to the beneficiary, right? To the product consumer, right? But some products are so good with the consumer that it doesn't benefit the financial advisor, and that equation doesn't work well as well. So it has to be a healthy balance, right? Yeah, so that when you're deciding for a company to work with, you should take a look at the market. It doesn't really matter how good you are or how much work you put in. Your preference and aptitudes does play into it, especially as an employee. But if you have a proclivity towards a brand or a certain industry, then that plays a role, because that's internal to you. But you have to take a look at the external environment as well to make a very, very informed decision, right? So that search cost is something you should be doing and you should do to help you find better opportunities. Hope that's helpful, right?